Begin tonight with the latest on an attempted train burglary just east of Bakersfield.
This is merchandise from the trains left on the tracks, suspected of being taken from the trains by thieves.
Your spanking new office printer might be delayed a few days in transit if it was parked on a FedEx rail car that was parked here Friday morning near Union Avenue. This was the scene early Friday on the tracks near Union, north of California Avenue.
How do you feel while doing this?
A lot of adrenaline. I love it. That's kind of why I do it, you know.
No. Was there an event in your life, like a financial stressor that said, this is what I'm going to do? Would you guys say this is every night?
Yeah, I do it almost every night.
What can you stand to make in a week doing this?
25K.
Now, sometimes you guys stop the tracks.
Yeah, go grab a car or whatever, anywhere, pull it up on the tracks. You want to put like the hazards or something on so the train will see it from the back. Enhanced graphics. That was kind of fancy. I'll have to look into that one.
The big question is, who pays? Well, in the long run, most likely insurance companies, which means you and I.
When I imagine train robberies, I think back to the Wild West days when rugged outlaws like Jesse James and Butch Cassidy would assemble a posse, then ride in on horseback to storm a train, execute their heist, and get away with the loot. And I would have told you that these train robberies were a thing of the past. That was until I got word that the business of train heist is alive and well. And in Bakersfield, California, where our episode takes place, these robberies can occur on a nightly basis. Now, I've made a career out of being fascinated by the mind of an outlaw, and today we meet many of them involved in this train business. We witness these guys live in action, see how they evade law enforcement, and we get a first-hand look at how their underground economy works. This is a world where people drive cars onto train tracks to get a train to stop to initiate the heist. To be successful at this, thieves have to avoid the federal agents, local law enforcement, and private detectives that patrol the railways and hunt down organized crime. This, folks, is the modern-day Wild West. Let's dive in. Folks, right here in the video was supposed to be a sponsored ad, but they wanted me to read from a script and do some gay-ass commercial, and I just didn't want to do it. All I want to do is make the best possible videos for you at home to watch. Right now, the Patreon army is at about 1,400 people. Let's get it up to 2,000. That way, we never have to do stupid-ass commercials. And you get access to the best and wildest clips on the internet, guaranteed. Join the movement, join the army. Link is in pinned comments.
Hey, if you live in one of these cities right here, why don't you own an apartment building? Seriously, let me show you a path that can...
What the impact theft has on a community is, just look no further than here. I've never seen this before. Celsius is behind a locked glass. You gotta push a button and have an employee come. So if you think theft only impacts the corporations and the big companies, you're wrong. It impacts the little guy with all these little hassles and things we have to go through. Our insurance gets higher. There's a lot of little factors and ripple effects that comes from theft. How bad is it?
Pretty bad, man. It was to the point that people will steal like the Red Bull.
People are stealing Red Bull? Mm-hmm. According to the Hammurabi Code, in severe cases, theft will be punished by either cutting your hand off or by death. So it's something that people have taken very seriously for a long time, but it seems like now more than ever in this current era, it's the most lightly punished it's ever been.
They say robbed the East Bakersfield Walmart last week. The robbery happened last Thursday, March 11th, just before 1:30 in the afternoon.
Nearby, there's people that are waiting for this thing to stop so they can get on board and get everything off of it. Someone's gonna crack it open and see what they can get. Maybe it's oranges, maybe it's baby supplies, maybe it's Amazon packages, who knows? Something important could be on your way to your house, but instead, someone's gonna get their grubby paws on it and you're gonna have to get your order reshipped.
Begin tonight with the latest on an attempted train burglary just east of Bakersfield.
Boxes of merchandise from the trains left on the tracks, suspected of being taken from the trains by thieves.
Bakersfield, California is a place you probably haven't heard of. Some people call it the armpit of California. It's rough out here. I mean, you have lots of homeless, and if you're a homeless guy with nothing to lose, what is it to you to try and take some things off a train and sell it? So clearly something has gone down right around here. There's hundreds and hundreds of boxes here, and my first impression of this operation is kind of like a smash and grab. This was going out to Washington to a lady named Debbie, and this is going out to Jean in Washington. So a lot of people on the West Coast were looking for important shit. Who knows if a kid had a birthday coming up? And also, how much of this theft is wasted? Like, what can a person really do with a precision egg cooker? How much can you resell that for? I would guess they're looking for electronics, chargers, computers, video cameras. I don't know. If I had to choose between doing this and running into a Best Buy, I would choose the Best Buy all day. This to me seems like just one of the more dirty and messy ways to make some sort of income. No one's turning into Jeff Bezos off of this. So earlier we were wondering what % of the thieves are homeless versus professionals, and this is a camp right next to all the action. I mean, just by the disorganized look at the scene, I would guess it's more of a homeless than a professional job.
But hey, I don't know nothing about it. It's not my business. This is my business.
It's crazy, right? So you feel like the boxes and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't really do it right here anymore.
People are getting busted for it?
One's looking at deportation. If they caught you on the train grabbing something, they could bust you. But once you left the train, they couldn't do anything about it.
We're suiting up right now during what's primetime train hours, which is from now about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock till 2 a.m. So I guess from the clues that we've been getting, we're dealing with more of an addict homeless situation and like sketchy characters on the fringes. What % of people in this game would you say are homeless versus professional?
About 70% are homeless, to be honest with you.
How long have you been doing this for?
I'm probably going on like 3 or 4 years now.
And how many missions over those 3 or 4 years?
Quite a bit. Probably too many to count, to be honest. It's we just drive around, you know, that's kind of what we do around here is we just drive around, and then if we see a train stop, we'll call everybody and be like, hey, yo, this is where we're at. What
are some of the things you have to be aware of in doing a mission? Like, how do you plan this out?
Honestly, there's not really much planning behind it. It's you see it, you go, you know, and jump on it right away, because it's you kind of on time limit. You know, it's how long is it gonna take for this person to take off, or you know, when are the cops gonna show up? Is security getting heavier and heavier now that this is becoming more of a common thing? I would say so, yeah. They've started parking trucks and security guards around where the trains stop and things like that. Back in the day, you know, you wouldn't have none of that. You just be there and open shit up, and you'll be there for a cool like 2-3 hours or something like that, you know. Now sometimes you guys stop the trains. Yeah, go grab a car or whatever, anywhere, pull it up on the tracks. You kind of like high center it on top of the tracks, you know. Most of the time you want to put like the hazards or something on so the train will see it farther back. How much money can you stand to make on a mission? I've made about $5 grand. Not knowing when a train might roll through, we gave E-Money a GoPro and told him to record a mission so we could see how it all goes down. Here's what he captured.
Wow, bro.
I'm gonna see if I can see anybody with a lot with popping, because I don't like the full colors on me. How do you feel while doing this? A lot of adrenaline, just pumping, you know, it's a crazy feeling. I love it. That's kind of why I do it, you know. It's exciting and just fun to do.
We separated from E-Money and set out on our own to patrol the tracks. Our goal was to be in position and near the action if a train robbery was going to happen that night. Here's what went down. At least 2 different crews are doing their inventory right now, seeing what's on the inside, and from what we understand, there's serious consequences for this now in California. California is not as light criminally as they used to be, so we're kind of just waiting to see what they find and seeing what our next step is.
I'm on my way.
What are you looking for in the trains? What are you hoping to find on the trains?
Anything worth profit. I mean, I've found $100 worth of cards, you know, like little, what do you call them, player cards and stuff like that. 2 or 3 people inside, and we just throw them out. Just start throwing them like this. People on the ground will grab them, and just throw them in the truck. After that, we'll go to a different location.
So there's an organized team.
Oh yeah, it could be anywhere from like 3 to, you know, 6 people.
Niggas can work together. Build some shit. The niggas can work together to build some shit. Wow. Niggas got teams to do this shit. You try to get a nigga to help you build a grinder or business.
What's going on?
To be a part of some shit.
They're hitting it? By the truck?
What the f is going on?
He said they're hitting it over here.
The way got turned.
Do I move?
You go get it.
So we were catching the action. No. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. Okay, so going on right behind us right now is, that's law enforcement right there. Hey, the cops are right there. Hey, the sheriff's right there. Hey. What the f?
Holy shit, we should go.
Should we get back in the car?
Yeah, go.
Miguel.
Miguel.
Let's get back in the car.
What the f is that, dude? Holy shit!
So you might be wondering why we were running back to the car. Keep in mind, we had just seen the sheriff, and what we weren't sure of in that moment was what were the legal ramifications even being near a train robbery. As you can imagine, robbing a train is a big federal crime. Under the US Code's Title 18, Section 1991, anyone who assaults, robs, or attempts to rob a train can face serious prison time, up to 20 years. It's considered an act of theft on interstate commerce, which of course makes it the business of the feds. He basically is like, are you guys the cops? We said no. Then he starts opening it up and just going ham. Then a sheriff drives by and then it just lurches. Okay, so obviously there is no place for stealing. I'm not advocating it. But the adrenaline rush of just being by the action, I can see why these guys are addicted just to the thrill of the job. That was insane, wasn't it? But what if you're not robbing the train? You're like us, near it. If you are caught trespassing within a certain distance of train tracks, you could still be committing a crime. We filmed this in California, and doing some research into this, it looks like California laws make it a misdemeanor to trespass within 20 feet of the tracks. This can land you up to 1 year in county jail. Luckily, we filmed this entire episode within 21 feet or further from the tracks. So what if, you know, someone's ordering baby formula and baby bottles and it doesn't get there on time? Like, what about the impact of it?
Agreed. The way I look at it is if you're ordering it off of Amazon or online somewhere, like not in too much need of it. You know, you gotta wait to, even if you get to the next day shipping, you're still waiting that time to get it, you know, so.
I guess what stands out to me is the outright lawlessness. I think if people in other countries watching this, seeing this happens in the United States, I think it would blow their minds. To think that a sheriff would drive by as you're blatantly stealing packages from a train, which is a federal offense, that he just keeps going on with his day. Where else does that happen? It's Keegan's birthday today, so happy birthday, Keegan. Write in the comments, happy birthday, Keegan. No better way to celebrate a birthday than by chasing down train thieves and 2 minutes before Googling whether it's a felony or misdemeanor.
Enhanced graphics. That looks kind of fancy. I have to look into that one. Some cream junk. Some wheelchair stuff. Kitchen stuff. What's that, wrapping paper or something? It's an interesting one. Like a cover or something. Shoes. Ooh, a nice little bag. That's about it. Didn't get too many this time, but had to get out of there. The train started moving.
Is that unusual for the train to start moving?
No, especially when they're like switching conductors like that.
So how would you rate the haul overall?
This one's one of the lower end ones. Altogether right there, probably 150, maybe.
I saw a sheriff look at someone stealing and kept driving.
Yeah, sheriffs out here, they need a law enforcement, don't really give a shit. It seems like they're scared. They're scared of everybody out here.
If caught, what's the penalty?
I don't know. It's probably a good few years or so. They're fighting a big case for sure. It's federal.
So it's very spur of the moment. It went from nothing's gonna go down tonight to 2-minute notice just happened.
Yes, and that's how it goes. You know, whenever you get the call, you gotta hurry up and get there. 90% of it, to be honest with you.
Talking to this guy got me wondering how many stolen goods are floating around on places like Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. I mean, how many people completely unaware are furnishing their homes, buying gifts for their kids, even getting school supplies like laptops and calculators without realizing that we too are participating in the underground economy. One of the train robbers told me like this straight up: if it's a brand new item listed at 50% of retail or less, or an item missing its original packaging, chances are it's stolen. It made me wonder what percent of goods on a site like Facebook Marketplace are lifted items. One day, when I interview Mark Zuckerberg, I will ask him for his take on this. But for now, it's wild to think that any one of us could have something in our homes that we use on a daily basis that was stolen in a train heist. Would you consider yourself to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
What's your next move?
Get rid of the boxes, honestly, and then start.
That's wild though. In 2025, man, they got niggas basically giving you the whole blueprint on how they supposed to be finessing, man. Like, this is crazy. Like, the world we live in. Like, they got a whole video like getting interviewed on how you just basically got away, but you didn't get away because now you're on camera. So, man, this shit crazy out here, man. But hey, it is what it is.